The key didn't work the first time, or the second. I jiggled it, thinking maybe the Italian humidity had somehow warped my muscle memory. When it finally turned, the door swung open to reveal unfamiliar shoes scattered across my welcome mat. My welcome mat. I'm Mila, and after spending a year working myself to exhaustion in Milan to save money, I'd fantasized about this moment, walking through my front door, dropping my bags, and sleeping in my own bed for the first time in 12 months. Instead, I found myself frozen in the doorway, staring at designer heels that definitely weren't mine. "Hello," I called out, my voice echoing through a house that suddenly felt foreign. The walls I'd painted sage green were now stark white. The family photos I'd carefully arranged were replaced with generic art prints. "Oh my God, Mila!" My brother Josef appeared from the kitchen, wearing an apron and holding a wooden spoon. "We weren't expecting you back so soon." "We?" The word caught in my throat as his wife Valeria emerged behind him, her perfectly manicured hand resting on his shoulder. "Surprise!" Valeria's smile didn't reach her eyes. "Your mother said you weren't due back for another month." I dropped my suitcase, the thud making them both jump. "Why are you in my house?" "Well," Josef scratched his neck, his tell when he's about to lie. "Mum said it would be fine if we stayed here for a bit. You know, since you were away and the house was just sitting empty. A bit?" I walked further inside, taking in more changes. My antique coffee table was gone, replaced by some modern monstrosity. "Where's my stuff?" "Most of it's in the garage," Valeria chimed in, as if she was doing me a favor. "We needed to make space for the nursery." "Nursery?" My head snapped toward them. "Yeah, Josef started, but Valeria cut him off. "We're trying for a baby. Isn't it exciting? And since Josef lost his job at the firm, this place has been such a blessing." I pushed past them, racing upstairs to my bedroom. Or what used to be my bedroom. My breath caught as I opened the door to find a home office, complete with a massive desk and ergonomic chair. "We can move things around," Josef called from behind me. "Val's been working from home and we needed the space." "How long?" I turned to face him, my voice deadly quiet. "What?" "How long have you been living here?" "About 6 months." He at least had the decency to look uncomfortable. I pulled out my phone, dialing our mother. She answered on the second ring. "Mila, you're back early." "Did you tell Josef he could live in my house?" A pause. "Well, sweetheart, they needed help, and you weren't using it. I didn't think you'd mind helping family." The phone nearly cracked in my grip. "It's my house, Mom. My name is on the deed. I bought it with my money." "Don't be selfish, Mila," she sighed. "Your brother needed—" I hung up, turning to find Valeria filming me with her phone. "What are you doing?" I demanded. "Just documenting everything. You know, in case things get ugly." She smiled sweetly. "We've established residency here, after all." I grabbed my suitcase and walked out, ignoring Josef's calls behind me. In my car, I pulled up the nearest motel on my phone, my hands shaking so badly I could barely type. A text from Valeria popped up. "Don't worry, we're taking good care of your house." I started the engine, my mind already racing with possibilities. They wanted to play games. Fine. But they had no idea what kind of player they'd just created. The motel coffee tasted like warm dirt, but I gulped it down anyway as Leah paced the small room, her face getting redder by the second. "They did what?" She stopped suddenly, turning to face me. "And your mother just let them, apparently." I scrolled through my phone, showing her Valeria's latest Instagram post, a perfectly staged photo of her doing yoga in my living room, caption reading, "Home sweet home, blessed." "That bitch." Leah grabbed my phone, zooming in. "Wait, is that your grandmother's antique vase they're using as a water bottle holder?" I nodded, feeling sick. Everything I own has become their prop. "You need to call the police." "And say what?" "My mother gave them permission to stay there. They've been living there for months. It's not breaking and entering." Leah sat beside me on the squeaky motel bed. "Then go back. Demand they leave. It's your house." "I tried that yesterday." I pulled up the video Valeria had posted of my breakdown. The comments were brutal. What a psycho sister. Some people are so entitled. Family should help family. Okay, Leah's voice took on a dangerous edge. Then sell it. I looked up. What? Sell the house, right out from under them. She grabbed my hands. You own it outright, right? Your name's the only one on the deed? Yes, but nothing. Call a realtor. Better yet. She pulled out her own phone, scrolling through contacts. Remember Malcolm? The investor who bought my parents' place when they divorced? He does fast closings, like, really fast. My heart started racing. That's crazy. Crazier than what they're doing to you? Leah was already dialing. Malcolm? Hi, it's Leah Whitney. Remember that favor you owe me? 20 minutes later, I was staring at an email from Malcolm with preliminary paperwork attached. The offer was lower than market value, but he could close in 72 hours. Cash deal. My phone buzzed. Another text from Yosef. Come on, sis. Let's talk about this like adults. Mom's really upset. Then came Valeria's message. You're being so dramatic. We're family now. Besides, where would we go? I walked to the motel window, watching rain start to fall. If I do this, there's no going back. They'll never forgive me. Forgive you? Leah scoffed. They stole your house while you were working abroad to save money, and now they're playing victim on social media. My phone buzzed again. A Facebook notification. Valeria had tagged me in a post. With trembling fingers, I opened it to find a video of her giving a house tour, showing off all her decorating changes. She'd even painted over the height marks on the kitchen wall where our dad had measured us as kids. That's it. I grabbed my laptop, opening Malcolm's email. How fast can he really close? If you sign tonight, he'll have everything ready by Friday. Friday? I looked up. That's so fast. That's his specialty. He pays cash, handles all the paperwork, and... Leah grinned wickedly. He's not afraid of dealing with difficult occupants. I started filling out the forms, my hands steady now. They'll need to be evicted. Malcolm works with a specific sheriff's office, very efficient. My phone lit up with a call from my mother. I declined it. What about all my stuff in the garage? I asked, still typing. We'll get a storage unit tomorrow. Move everything out while they're sleeping. I hit send on the completed forms, then opened my voice memos app. Day 1. I spoke clearly into the recorder. Dear Yosef and Valeria, you thought you could take my house? Watch me take it back. Leah raised an eyebrow. What's that for? Evidence, documentation, therapy? I smiled grimly. Maybe all three. My phone pinged with Malcolm's response. Can close in 72 hours. Any risks or claims to the property I should know about? I stared at the message for a long moment, thinking about Yosef, Valeria, and my mother, about family and loyalty and karma. None that matter, I typed back and hit send. Sign here, here, and initial here. Malcolm's pen tapped each line methodically. We sat in a quiet coffee shop 2 towns over, far enough that nobody would recognize me. Are you absolutely certain about the immediate possession clause? I scrawled my signature with practiced efficiency. Absolutely certain. It's aggressive, he warned, shuffling papers. Most sellers give occupants 30 days. Most occupants don't steal houses. I handed him back the stack of documents. How's the new buyer handling all this? Kiara? She's fine, young, ambitious, actually excited about the drama. He checked his watch. Speaking of which, she's waiting to meet you. My phone buzzed. The 10th call from my mother today. I declined it. Everything okay? Malcolm asked, eyeing my phone. Perfect. I forced a smile. Where's Kiara? A young woman with bright eyes and a laptop approached our table. That's me. Oh my God, thank you for selling to us. The house is exactly what I've been looking for. I studied her enthusiasm, wondering if I should feel guilty. Just be prepared for Friday. The current occupants might not leave quietly. Oh, don't worry. She pulled out a folder. I've already hired movers and changed all the utilities to my name. Malcolm explained everything. My phone lit up again, this time with the text from Yosef. Hey sis, getting worried. No one's heard from you in days. Mum's freaking out. Can we talk? I clicked my phone face down as Malcolm finished the paperwork. Outside the coffee shop, he handed me a certified check that made my hand shake slightly. Day 3, I spoke into my voice memo later that evening, parked outside my mother's house. The sale is final. The money's in my account. There's no going back now. I watched through the window as my mother moved around her kitchen, probably stress cooking like she always did when she was worried. Part of me wanted to go in, to explain everything. Instead, I started the car. Mila! Her voice caught me before I could drive away. She rushed to my window. Where have you been? Why aren't you answering your phone? Been busy, I said flatly. Busy? Your brother is worried sick. And what's this about you moving things out of the garage at night? I met her eyes. My house, my things. Stop being difficult. She leaned into the window. Come have dinner. Yosef and Valeria are coming over. We can sort this out as a family. Family? I laughed, the sound harsh even to my own ears. Was it family when you gave them my house without asking, when they packed up my life and turned it into their Instagram backdrop? They needed help. You were gone. I was working, sending money home, paying for a house that apparently wasn't even mine to come back to. Her face hardened. You need to apologize to your brother. He's been through enough. I think he'll be the one doing the apologizing. I put the car in drive. Very soon. As I pulled away, my phone lit up with a text from Leah. Drove by your place. They're hosting some kind of party. Valeria's showing off her house to everyone. I smiled, clicking open my messages to Malcolm. Everything still set for Friday? His response came quickly. Sheriff confirmed. 9 a.m. sharp. No turning back now. I pulled into my motel parking spot, noticing a familiar car. Yosef stood by my door, hands in his pockets. Mila, please. He stepped forward. Whatever you're planning. How did you find me? Leah told me. He looked desperate. Look, I know you're mad, but Valeria's already ordered nursery furniture and she's not pregnant, Yosef. I pushed past him to my door. She never was. That's not the point. You need to leave. I closed the door in his face, listening to him plead through it for several minutes before his footsteps finally retreated. My phone buzzed one last time. Malcolm again. Closing finalized. Sheriff confirmed for Friday. Good luck. I set my alarm for 8 a.m. The countdown had begun. The papers are officially recorded, Malcolm announced, sliding a thick envelope across his desk. Congratulations, you're no longer a homeowner. Chiara sat beside me, practically vibrating with excitement as she accepted her copy of the keys. I can't believe this is really happening, though. She glanced at me nervously. Are you sure about tomorrow? The eviction. They've had their chance. I kept my voice steady. Multiple chances, actually. My phone lit up. Valeria had just gone live on Instagram. I clicked it before I could stop myself. There she was, in my kitchen, mixing something in my grandmother's antique bowl. And yes, we're finally settling in permanently. Her voice dripped honey. This house is such a blessing. Family takes care of family, right? I clicked it off as Malcolm cleared his throat. The sheriff will arrive at 9 sharp. I suggest you be there early. I will be. I stood, then turned to Chiara. Just be prepared. They might damage things on their way out. That's why I hired security. She smiled sweetly. They'll arrive right after the sheriff. I left Malcolm's office feeling lighter, right until I saw my mother's text. Family dinner tonight, non-negotiable. 2 hours later, I sat across from her at her favorite restaurant, watching her stir her soup with aggressive precision. You've been avoiding us, she started. Been busy. Too busy for family. She set her spoon down. Yosef said you were horrible to him yesterday. He and Valeria are trying to start a family, and you're being so selfish. Valeria's not pregnant. I cut into my steak. Never was. What? How would you know? Because I saw her drinking champagne at their little house party, the one they threw in my house. Your brother lost his job 6 months ago, and instead of looking for a new one, he moved into my house and let his wife redecorate. They needed help. She slammed her hand on the table, making the silverware jump. That's what family does. We help each other. Help. I leaned forward. Like when I needed help with college tuition, but you'd spent the money on Yosef's third attempt at starting a business. Or when I worked 2 jobs to buy that house while you let him live with you rent-free. That's different. You're right, it is different. I raised my wine glass. Because this time, I'm done helping. What's that supposed to mean? It means you should tell your precious son to start packing. Her face paled. What have you done? What I should have done the moment I came home. I stood up, dropping cash on the table. I took control. Mila, she grabbed my arm. Whatever you're planning, stop it right now. Think about your brother. I have thought about him. For 35 years, everything has been about him. I pulled free. It's time he learned about consequences. My phone buzzed as I reached my car. A text from Yosef. Mum's crying. What did you say to her? Why are you being like this? Then from Valeria. Just saw your mum. You're really taking this too far. We're family. I opened my voice memo app. Day 4. Tomorrow morning, they learn that family isn't about taking. It's about respect, and they're about to learn both lessons the hard way. A final text came through from Leah. Everything ready for tomorrow? I typed back, 9 a.m. sharp. Want to watch? Her response was immediate. Wouldn't miss it. I'll bring coffee. Extra bitter, just like revenge. I drove past my house one last time. Through the windows, I could see Valeria hosting another gathering, gesturing grandly at my walls, my space, my life. Music thumped from inside. A housewarming party, according to her latest social post. Enjoy it, I whispered, checking the time. In less than 12 hours, the sheriff would be knocking on that door. It's your last night in my house. My phone lit up with Malcolm's final confirmation. All set for 9 a.m. Sheriff has paperwork, new locks being delivered, point of no return. I smiled, typing back 2 words. Good, perfect. 8:45 a.m. I parked across the street, watching Leah pull up beside me with 2 coffee cups and a grim smile. Ready for this? She handed me a cup. Been ready for days. I checked my phone. No missed calls. They had no idea what was coming. The sheriff's car pulled up at exactly 9, followed by Kiara's SUV and a security company van. I stepped out of my car as the sheriff approached the door. 3 sharp knocks. Sheriff's department. Movement behind the curtains. Yosef opened the door in his pajamas, coffee cup in hand. His face dropped when he saw the uniforms. Can I help you? Are you the current occupant of this residence? The sheriff held up a stack of papers. Yes, I live here with my wife. What's this about? I have an immediate eviction notice. This property has new owners who are taking possession today. Yosef's coffee cup slipped, shattering on the porch. What? That's impossible. This is my sister's house. Was. Kiara stepped forward, paperwork in hand. I'm the new owner. I have all the documentation here. No, no, no. Yosef backed up as Valeria appeared behind him, still in her silk robe. This is some kind of mistake. What's going on? Valeria demanded, then spotted me across the street. Her eyes widened. You? What did you do? Ma'am, sir, the sheriff continued, you have 30 minutes to collect essential personal items. The rest can be removed under supervision within 24 hours. You can't do this, Valeria screamed, pulling out her phone. I'm calling your mother. Already tried that. Yosef's voice cracked. She's not answering. Because she knows, I called out, walking closer. I told her last night. You bitch! Valeria lunged forward, but security stepped between us. We're family. How could you do this? Family? I laughed. Family doesn't steal homes. Family doesn't mock someone's breakdown on social media. Family doesn't lie about pregnancies to justify theft. We needed help, Yosef pleaded. And I needed a home to come back to after working abroad for a year. Guess we both lost something. The security team started entering the house as Valeria collapsed into dramatic sobs. Where are we supposed to go? Not my problem, I turned to Chiara. The house is yours. Good luck with it. This isn't over, Valeria shrieked, filming with her phone again. Everyone will see what you did. Good. I smiled directly into her camera. Let them see. Let them see exactly what happens when you take something that isn't yours. A car screeched to a halt. My mother jumped out, face red with fury. Mila, stop this right now. It's already done, Mom. Papers are signed. House is sold. How could you do this to your own brother? The same way you let him do it to me. I met her eyes. The difference is, I'm not pretending it's about family. I'll sue, Yosef suddenly announced. I'll take you to court. With what money? Leah stepped forward, waving her phone. The money you borrowed using this address, the credit cards you maxed out, the loans you defaulted on. His face went pale. Valeria turned to him slowly. What loans? Time's running out, the sheriff announced. 20 minutes to collect essentials. I watched as they scrambled inside, arguing loudly about what to take. My mother stood frozen, tears streaming down her face. You've destroyed this family, she whispered. No, Mom, you did that years ago. I just finally stopped playing along. Chiara approached with her moving team, looking nervous but determined. Thank you, she said quietly, for trusting me with your home. It's your home now. I handed her my last key. Make better memories here than I did. As Yosef and Valeria stuffed bags with clothes and valuables, I opened my voice memo one last time. Day 5. The house is gone. And with it, the last chains of obligation. Sometimes karma needs a little push. Sometimes justice wears heels and carries eviction notices. Leah touched my arm. Ready to go? I looked at my former home one last time, at my crying mother, my panicking brother, and his raging wife. More than ready. Let's get breakfast. I'm starving. The fallout hit social media before I finished my pancakes. Valeria's tearful Instagram live had already racked up thousands of views. My evil sister-in-law made us homeless. God, she's dramatic, Leah said, scrolling through comments. Oh, look, your mum's joined the pity party. I glanced at her phone. My mother had shared a long Facebook post about family loyalty and cruel betrayal. The comments section was a war zone of distant relatives taking sides. My phone buzzed, an unknown number. I answered warily. Is this Mila? A man's voice. This is Detective Morris. We're investigating some suspicious financial activity linked to your address. I sat up straighter. What kind of activity? Several loans were taken out using your home address as collateral. The paperwork appears to have some irregularities. Let me guess, my brother's signature on everything? Actually, no. The detective paused. Some documents appear to have your signature on them. The pancakes turned to lead in my stomach. My signature? We'll need you to come in and verify some documents. The amounts involved are significant. I hung up, hands shaking. Leah, pull up those loan documents you mentioned. She tapped her phone, then went pale. Oh, shit. What? The dates. Some of these were taken out while you were in Italy. Your signature's on all of them. A harsh knock on my motel door made us both jump. Yosef stood there, looking desperate. 5 minutes, he pleaded. Please. I let him in, watching him pace the small room. Val left, he blurted out. Went to her parents. She's talking divorce. Karma's funny that way. This isn't funny. He ran his hands through his hair. The bank called. And some detective. About the forged loan documents. I crossed my arms, with my signature on them. He stopped pacing. I can explain. How much? What? How much did you steal in my name? He swallowed hard. 200,000. Leah gasped. I felt the room spin. I was going to pay it back. He stepped toward me. I had a plan. Like all your other plans. I laughed bitterly. The the startup that failed, the crypto scheme, the house-flipping business. I needed the money for what? Valeria's designer bags, the luxury car payments. You don't understand. No, you don't understand. I shoved him back. I worked 60-hour weeks in Italy. I saved every penny. And while I was gone, you not only took my house, you stole my identity. Mum said you'd help if I asked. So you forged my signature instead of asking. He collapsed onto the bed, head in his hands. Please, I need a place to stay, just for a few days. No. Mila, please. Get out. I'm your brother. No. I opened the door. You're just the reason I'm meeting with fraud investigators tomorrow. After he left, Leah made some calls. Within an hour, she had a lawyer friend on speakerphone explaining identity theft charges and civil suits. My phone kept buzzing, family members choosing sides, my mother leaving tearful voicemails, Valeria posting more dramatic videos. Day 6, I spoke into my voice memo that night. Turns out revenge is like an onion. You peel back one layer of betrayal, only to find another underneath. But maybe that's good. Maybe we needed everything exposed to finally see the truth. A text from Chiara popped up with a photo. My old house, now with fresh flowers in the window boxes. Thank you again. Despite the drama, it already feels like home. I smiled, then opened my email to the detective. I'd like to press charges for identity theft and fraud. I have documentation ready. Leah touched my shoulder. You okay? No. I watched another angry text from my mother pop up. But I will be. Sometimes burning bridges lights the way forward. Deep, she grinned. Want to get drunk and watch Valeria's meltdown videos? God, yes. I grabbed my jacket. But first, I need to file a police report. Turns out karma needs paperwork to do its job properly. Your brother's looking at 3 to 5 years, Detective Morris said, sliding photos of forged documents across his desk. The fraud amount exceeds felony threshold. Add identity theft and, well, I stared at my signature, or rather, the clumsy attempt at copying it. And Valeria? We're investigating her involvement. The designer purchases made with fraudulent cards trace back to her. My phone buzzed. Another text from Yosef. Please drop the charges, I'm begging you. I'll pay everything back. That'll be difficult, the detective commented, noting my screen. Given he's currently sleeping on someone's couch and facing multiple civil suits from other creditors. I left the police station to find my mother waiting by my car. You're really going through with this? She stepped forward. Pressing charges against your own brother. Funny how it's always about protecting him. I tried to move past her. Where was this energy when he stole my identity? When he took my house? He made mistakes. No, he committed crimes. And you enabled every single one. I raised you both better than this. Did you? I turned to face her fully. You raised him to take whatever he wanted, and you raised me to give until there was nothing left. Well, guess what? I'm empty now. No more giving. Her face crumpled. He's going to jail. Yes, he is. Back at the motel, Leah waited with takeout and updates. Valeria's parents kicked her out. Apparently, she used their credit cards too. Shocking. I picked at my noodles. Any word on the divorce? Filed yesterday. She's already dating some guy from her yoga studio. Leah paused. Oh, and you got to let her. I opened the envelope she handed me. Inside was a card from Chiara with photos of my old house. She'd restored the sage green walls. The height marks in the kitchen were visible again, carefully preserved under clear coating. I know this house has a complicated history, she wrote, but I wanted you to see it's in good hands. Sometimes the best way to heal a space is to honor its past while building a new future. My phone lit up with a notification. Valeria had been arrested for credit card fraud. Minutes later, Yosef called. What do you want? I answered. Did you know? His voice was small. About Val using Mum's cards too. No, but I'm not surprised. I really messed up, didn't I? Finally figured that out, huh? A long pause. I'm sorry, Mila, for everything. The house, the loans. I never thought about consequences. Well, now you have plenty of time to think about them. Yeah. He sounded close to tears. Will you visit when they sentence me? I closed my eyes. No. Mila. Goodbye, Yosef. Later that night, I drove past my old house one last time. Kiara's lights were on, warm and inviting. Through the window, I could see her family having dinner, laughing around my old table. No, her table now. My phone buzzed with a text from Malcolm. Heard about the fraud charges. Need any legal contacts? No thanks, I replied. Justice is handling itself quite nicely. Leah called next. Your mum's posting about moving to be closer to whatever prison they send Yosef to. Of course she is. I smiled sadly. Some things never change. But some things do, she said softly. You did. You finally stood up for yourself. I parked at the motel, watching the sunset. Day 7, I spoke into my voice memo. Karma isn't just about revenge. It's about balance. For every action, there's a consequence. For every theft, there's a price. Today, everyone's bills came due. A final text came through, from Kiara. The house is at peace now. Hope you are too. I looked at the photo she attached. My old kitchen, now filled with new life, but with those childhood height marks still visible on the wall. A reminder that some things can be preserved, even as everything else changes. Yeah, I whispered, starting my car. I think I finally am. Ready? Leah asked, watching me scroll through my voice memos. Almost. I clicked play on the first one. Day 1, Dear Yosef and Valeria, you thought you could take my house. Watch me take it back. Delete. Day 2, the sale is happening. There's no going back. Delete. Each recording captured a different stage of my transformation, from shocked victim to calculated avenger. I listened to my voice grow stronger with each entry. My phone buzzed, a news alert about Valeria pleading guilty to multiple fraud charges. She'd taken a deal to testify against Yosef, the perfect power couple, destroying each other in the end. Your mom left another voicemail, Leah said, checking my phone notifications. Delete it. Without listening. She's just going to guilt me about missing Yosef's sentencing tomorrow. Are you sure about not going? I played another voice memo. Day 5, the house is gone, and with it, the last chains of obligation. Delete. Completely sure. I stood up from the motel bed, surveying the packed bags around me. I'm done watching him face consequences. I'm done being part of their story. Speaking of stories, Leah held up her phone. Your Reddit post about all this went viral. People are calling you their hero. I laughed. For what? Selling a house and pressing charges. For standing up to toxic family. For choosing yourself. My phone lit up with a text from Ciara. Found something you might want. Attached was a photo of an old journal discovered behind a baseboard during renovations. My childhood diary. Want to drive by and get it? Leah asked. No, I smiled. Let her keep it. Maybe it'll help her understand why the house needed saving. Another voice memo played. Day 6. Turns out revenge is like an onion. Delete. You're really getting rid of all of them? Leah watched me tap through recordings. Don't need them anymore. They were my therapy when I thought I was alone. But I wasn't, was I? She hugged me tight. Never. My phone rang. Detective Morris. Thought you'd want to know. Your brother's taking a plea deal. 5 years with restitution payments. Thanks. I hung up feeling lighter. Final voice memo. Day 7. Karma isn't just about revenge. It's about balance. I paused before deleting this one, remembering the moment I recorded it. How peaceful I'd felt watching Kiara's family through my old kitchen window. Delete. Ready now? Leah picked up her bag. Our flight leaves in 3 hours. Almost. I opened my phone's camera, holding it up. Day 8, final entry. They say revenge is a dish best served cold, but that's not quite right. Revenge is just the spark. The real power comes from walking away and letting karma finish what you started. I hit stop, then delete. No more voice memos, no more documentation, no more looking back. Now I'm ready, Leah grinned. Italy won't know what hit it. Think they'll hire me back at the same company? After how hard you worked last time, they'd be stupid not to. As we loaded the car, one last text came through from my mother. Please don't leave like this, we're still family. I typed back, no, we're not. We're just people who share DNA and hard lessons. Goodbye, Mom. Block contact. The sun was rising as we drove to the airport, painting the sky in shades of possibility. My old house was somewhere behind us, filled with new love and preserved memories. My brother was facing his first taste of consequences. My mother was learning that control is an illusion, and me? I was finally completely free. Hey, Leah. Yeah? Thank you for everything. She smiled, turning up the radio. That's what real family does. I closed my eyes, letting the morning light warm my face. They say home is where the heart is. But sometimes, home is where you choose to build yourself anew, far from the ashes of what you had to burn down to survive.